Hello everybody, how are you? Come back to the channel, thank you. Today I take bike out for blast to wheelie all the way into town and cheat ping in the way very hot. So today we're going to be doing the next one. Very big mess with the road come through block and speed block everywhere. Oil on the car, spin out the way 170 miles an hour. Welcome back to the channel, guys. How are you getting on? Today in this video is going to be something a little bit more engine-y stuff and more KX7 stuff. And today we have the engine mostly built up here. I've just stuck on the fancy exhaust manifold. This piece here is just on just now. I actually found out that that's a K21 and K21s don't fit on the K24 block. So I had to source K24 one, which I had in a pile of bits. It was like over there somewhere, so that'll fit nice. And what I've done this morning is bolted on this engine mount here. Don't ask me what kit I used because there is no such thing, but this side here, this was the original mount. However, K24 is different. Make up another engine mount. So what I'll do is I'm going to take this engine off, put it on the crane, get the flywheel on. I've got my adapter plate and stuff like that here. Secret stuff. High profile. You know, this is high profile stuff here. This has not been seen anywhere else in the world. So it's just a flywheel, put it in the lathe, machine it down, stick in a spline, and yeah, that goes into the gearbox, and then that's your magic adapter plate done. So what I'm going to do here is I'll tidy up this stuff a little bit. I was looking through bolt boxes and stuff because that engine stand, although it can lift like 3 tons, it can't actually get over a bloody tie wrap. So what I'll need to do is sweep up a little bit so I can move it around. Get the flywheel on, the adapter on, get it thread locked down and stuff like that, and start on making the side mount here. Yeah baby, she's off the stand. I've actually just realised that I welded this on down the bottom here of the sump, but I'm not sure if that actually hits the subframe or not. I think it might, so I'm going to have to take that off. Bad plan on my part. Anyway, so here we have the piece that we bolt on the flywheel to, so I've given it all cleaned down. I've given this a bit of a brake cleaner and a clean up. So she's all fresh, nice fresh machine surfaces, and I've got the good old At this point here, what I do to stop the flywheel from spinning is, oh by the way, if you're a snowflake with ratchets, look away about now. So I use an old oil pump chain, and what I do is I put another bolt in here, and that just stops the flywheel rotating. So I probably have to lower it down onto the ground to stop it rotating round. Snap-on shite. If that was Halfords, it would have been alright. She's so pretty. So there we have it, adapter plate is on, everything's all hunky-dory, and now I just need to make this engine mount. So I got some card here from my daughter, and I'm going to make up a little template just in this 3 here. That should be enough to hold it. With this, cut it out, drill it, make some spacers and then get some steel. 8mm steel, get the grinder out and make that plate up. Hello there, welcome to the party. Today we're going to cut some steel with the angle grinder. I'll show you how to do this. You use this piece here, and it makes noise, and this piece here, and this uncutting disc, and then cut this out, and then you have the engine mount. So that now is bolted on there with one, and you see the gap here and there's a gap down here. I just need to make spacers for them, and once I've made the spacers I'll be able to drill them and the plate will be done. Here we go, just going to machine up some spacers now in the lathe. So there we go, just welded them on to keep them in place, but that was 15mm and 16mm. Got some good heat into them. And now it's time. I'll maybe take this exhaust manifold. Oh fuck, actually I can't because it's holding the engine up. As you can see, drilled some go faster holes in there. This plate is now on. The wee fittings and stuff like that at the back there. It's nice and level. And I just need to make a piece that basically joins on there to that engine mount there. So shouldn't be too bad. You just push it on with your knee and then turn the spanner and it slides on. Much easier than a clutch. So we're getting somewhere. It's in the bay, but I've got an issue because my sensor here for oil pressure is going to hit. A bit pissed off about that, to be honest, because I would like to have it there, but I'm going to have to put it somewhere else. So I'm going to unbolt it. Probably have to cut this down a little bit because it looks like it's going to be close there and stuff I'll bolt in. Also, I would probably be better off with this plate further back. It would be closer to the original sort of mount, but that's not what it is. These are just one bolt, so I'll just pull it off here and just plop it in there. No biggie. Yes, she's in. So everything clears. Everything's looking good. I just need to build this engine mount now. And yeah, rocker cover on. It's quite tall, you know, and as you can see, the centre line of the wheels, you know, we're not too far forward, which is still nice. Keep that way to the back. We better see if the bonnet actually closes because, you know, well, it closes pretty good. That's obviously lower than stock, so because you have the wings and stuff like that that go on the side there. So yeah, it fits fine. So this is actually sits down low at the back there for this Venturi thing. A stock bonnet actually sits quite a bit higher, so, but I'm glad that this one fits because when I've got the turbo here I can send the thing straight out of the bonnet. This is basically a cut up bonnet for me. It's if you've not seen what's been the crack with it, it gets basically, it's floppy and it's pretty minging. So I got a bit of plate and I've welded that plate up, and here's a bit of pipe here. I put a hole in the pipe for holding it down, so now we need to join between these two here. So I've got another bit of pipe here. This is angles, and if you know me, I do not I repeat, I do not like angles. Right, so I've got a bit of toilet roll and I've cut that out with scissors to try and get the angle because I am so bad at angles. Well, this is what I've come up with, so I'll weld it up and we'll see if it fits. Should do. Well, that's it all welded up, so it's fairly sturdy like everything else, so we'll wait for it to cool down. We'll see if she fits. And there we have it. Engine mount. As you can see, the jack is now away, but the true signature will be when I remove these jack stands. And there we have it, back on all fours. New engine is in, all bolted to the box. Put the starter motor in as well, just to make sure that would all fit. Everything's just hunky-dory, there's space everywhere, so I'm happy about the space here, with the wastegate's going to be coming out here now instead of the back. One, there's not enough airflow, but two, it was getting very tight, everything around here, so now I've got plenty of room for a downpipe. The race setup is going to come out the bonnet, but I will have a street setup which will come over the top and go down where the normal exhaust is. Here we've got, obviously, I don't know if you've seen before, the turbo drain. I just have it coming straight into the front cover, because when you have them into the sump, they can make smoky turbos basically. Just fittings here, I keep this standard oil cooler of the water system, and I need to make a T here for the oil feed. And yeah. So in this setup, I don't actually think I'm going to use the oil pressure regulator. I'm going to try and just use the restrictor. Most turbos I put on, I've just got the restrictor. So if I start, because obviously the oil pump produces quite a lot of oil pressure in this thing, so if it's too much I will put an oil pressure regulator on. But if it's not, I'll just send it the way it is. Yes guys, so that's it. She's in the bay. Look how savage that thing is looking. That turbo's absolutely bloody massive. Like, it's actually huge. So yeah, that's going to be something else. It's about the same size as the bloody car. So that turbo setup itself I'm going to use for when I shoot for the big power. To begin with, obviously run the engine in and stuff like that, I'll use a GTX 3584, so still 1000 horsepower turbo, but it's just a bit smaller, so I can run a downpipe and stuff to take it on the road. Yeah, to run it in. One of the things I'm going to work on, it'll be a different video, is here we've got two fuel rails. Basically I'm going to be running 8 injectors now, so 4 in the primary and 4 in the secondary rail. Obviously this is the manifold made like 3-4 years ago, however long it was. That's actually a standard K20 manifold I just chopped off. There's a video on how I made that. Yeah, we're getting there. This is huge. This is like 85mm inside diameter throttle body, so it's maybe a bit too big if anything, to be honest with you. EGTs are still to weld a bung on for the exhaust gas back pressure and wastegate and stuff like that, so also to weld that on as well. And yeah, do the front end. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the front end. As you can see here, I've cut these pieces out here. I'm going to do the same with this one, and not make it tubular, but just make it simple with a bit of bar, just because it's just mounting the headlights, this, and I'll make some proper stanchions for holding the bonnet down. The bit across here, the intercooler itself, the intercooler is massive. This thing is 5-inch thick. It's an absolute choke beast of a thing, but it doesn't really fit well in this. So I mean, a charge cooler would be a cool idea, but it's extra complexity, and yeah, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. That intercooler doesn't even fit in between here, so I might go for maybe a slightly narrower one to try and help out, and then maybe straight off the turbo down in the intercooler, through the intercooler and then up. But then obviously the radiator would need to be behind it, so V-mount setup worked last time, but it was a bit tight with bends and stuff, especially when you start going for big turbo. There's not a lot of wiggle room, so plus I like front mount intercooler stuff. Seems to cool down a lot faster and it doesn't heat soak off the radiator. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for coming along. If you made it this far, give us a comment, let me know that you've made it this far. And yeah, as usual guys, we're going to catch you in the next video. I can't wait to get this thing on the road. I've got a spurt of inspiration, and Mrs. gave me a little bit of time to get this thing up and running. So on, I think it's September, I have a date trail that I want to take the RX7. That is the dream, so hopefully we can make that happen. Stay safe, stay classy, and we'll catch you in the next vid.